Okay, but let's be honest. Some relationship problems are not loud. They do not start with shouting or obvious betrayal. Sometimes they begin quietly, with something one partner thinks is harmless and the other experiences as deeply personal. A woman wrote about a marriage that has lasted many years. They built a life together. They share children. Recently, her husband admitted something that had been happening for a long time. He had a private sexual dynamic with a female friend. He would ask her to send explicit photos or videos. He says he only used them privately, and to him, it was basically the same as watching pornography. But to his wife, it did not feel the same at all. This was not an anonymous image online. This was a real person, someone he knew, someone with history in his life. The discovery changed how safe she felt in the relationship. He did apologize and said he would stop asking the friend for new content and reduce contact with her. But there is something important he has not done yet. He has not deleted the photos and videos he already has. He says he simply has not had time to go through the files, and he believes keeping them for private use is still his right. That difference in perspective matters because, for one person, this situation feels like a technical category, something comparable to porn, but for the other person, it feels like a boundary inside the marriage has been crossed. There is another layer here too. Years ago, before they were married, the wife made mistakes in the relationship. She emotionally crossed a line with someone else, and later, during a break, dated another person. Her husband says he forgave those things. So now, when this issue comes up, he brings up the past. To him, this is simply another mistake in a long relationship, something she should forgive the same way he once did. And this is where many long-term couples get stuck, not in the mistake itself, but in how the meaning of the mistake is understood. Because forgiveness is not an accounting system. It is not a scoreboard where old wrongs cancel out new ones. Each moment of broken trust still has its own emotional weight. Another thing that matters here is the difference between anonymity and familiarity. Pornography, for many couples, exists in a distant category. It involves strangers, and there is no relationship attached to it. But when the person is someone you know, someone you can text, someone who knows your life, the emotional impact can feel very different. For the wife, the question is not simply about photos. It is about safety, connection, and whether the relationship is still being protected. Because when trust is shaken, even small things can feel uncertain. Physical closeness can change, conversations can feel heavier, and the sense of being chosen can feel less clear. The husband says he wants to fix things, but wanting to fix something and understanding what repair actually requires are not always the same thing. Real repair often begins with understanding how the other person experienced the situation, not defending the intention, not comparing it to past mistakes, just recognizing the impact. So the real question here is not whether she is overreacting. The real question is whether both people are willing to look honestly at what trust means now, after everything that has happened. Because rebuilding trust is rarely about proving who was right. It is about deciding, together, what kind of relationship you want to protect going forward. And sometimes, the most important step is simply this: listening long enough to understand why something that felt small to one person felt deeply personal to the other. Okay, but let's be honest. That kind of listening is where real repair usually begins.